was catching up with a friend today who doesn't really use YouTube much about the goings on in my little corner of the YouTube world. You know, where Chille DeCastro is causing mass chaos, the gnashing of the teeth and the wringing of the hands. He was really interested to know what's been going on, so he says, just kind of tell me in a nutshell. What? I don't think so. I don't think this story can be nutshelled. How do you describe to someone who is privy to none of this about the great YouTube war of 2022? How? A tale possibly more significant than the great Emu Wars of 1932. I don't think it's possible. I mean, what a story we've lived so far, huh? When a vile, power-hungry, cop-hating, yeeting grifter with a Napoleon complex, a Netflix deal brewing in his diabolical brain, and so much Botox in his forehead that when he lifts his right eyebrow, his left ass cheek curls up, when he took over the streets of our YouTube neighborhood to engorge himself. And about the merry band of First Amendment-loving trolls, self-appointed 1A auditors, conspiracy theorists, anarchists, statists, et al., and their ragtag bands of mostly lovable reprobate followers, all joining forces to rise up and defeat this evil foe. I mean, this tale ain't for the faint of heart, people. Ours is what novelists call a broken Aesop, because our unlikely heroes have questionable morals, strings of bad choices, behaviors that would make a 70-year-old hooker blush, and no hobbies. These karma Houdinis have become the unlikeliest of heroes, and the unlikeliest and uneasiest of allies. Kind of like Russia, England, and America during the Second World War. We've got it all. We've got protagonists, antagonists, heroes, villains, jesters, damsels with secret crushes, international intrigue, super creepy people, generous people, scholarly people, lunkheads, demons, fairies, castle builders, skeptics, stargazers, and mystics. And that's just on our side. On the other side, we got Chille. You people don't get it. You don't understand. God gifted Chille to us people to teach us what our storied lives would look like in absolutes. Cornered, overly done, intractable, flat, predictable, boring, envenomed, malicious, litigious, fragile, resentful. You get the gist. His diabolical plans have no nuance. An evil that just seeks to destroy pointlessly always backfires. Doesn't this guy read? If not, he should open a damn book to see how his story's going to end. What is an all-consuming evil's end goal anyway? Destroy everything? Then what? This man is prepared to incinerate the world to rule the ashes? Maybe? He's so one-dimensional, it's as if he didn't even exist prior to coming into our radar range. Nothing. Not a thing to make us wonder if he had a past, a reason for being. What pushed him to become this dark shadow? Who gives a shit? No one cares. He's such a jerk. His story is so bad, it could have been written by Albert Dunley. Have you ever heard of Albert Dunley? Exactly. Chille could be a character right out of his abysmal trilogy called Bored, Angry, and Soon to Be Dead. Dunley wrote 10,000 poems, but he failed to rhyme a single one of them. And as if they weren't pointless and confusing enough, he took the time in each one of them to passive-aggressively rant against his own incompetence. He mercilessly murdered the English language with each stroke of his pen, and I feel like Chille could be one of his main characters. This debauched swindler was fueled by vengeance, undercooked gas station tornadoes, giggle smoke, and Florida snow. And the only thing he has going for him, you gotta admit, people, this guy is a smooth talker.
The cops are scum. They're the problem in the society. Say the same thing. They should hear it. You teach them properly. Teach the kids properly. No, but he'll be targeted when he's 16, 17. If he smokes or drinks, they'll put him in jail. Just make sure you know.
Yeah, if he acts like you, he'll be targeted. It's called police doing their job when people are committing crime.
Sure you know. You can't silence my voice. I can say what I want. Respect your children. Teach them properly. Then teach them. The cops are scum. They're the problem in the society. How's that dungeon system working out? You been there? No, we're not celebrating a memorial here for the soldiers who died for our country. We're celebrating pigs. These guys are scum. They'll target young men. They do it. There's tons of cops coming through here. Oh, don't say bad things about cops? Is that what it is? Okay. Hey, buddy, have a good day. Take care of yourself.
It should be a wrap.
So stick a pin in this consequential event. The threats began around this time. He had been threatening Kate because she was doing a deep dive into his past and coming up with some pretty disturbing facts. He threatened to go to Boston to serve her a lawsuit, and she knew he actually traveled to Boston and met up with Josh Abrams. But when Chille was a no-show at her house with the lawsuit, she called his bluff and went to this parade where he and Josh had been scaring kids by demonizing cops. I'm highlighting just a few clips from this video because I think they're an important tool to help us understand Chille's motivation and his intentions. It also highlights Chille's obsession with his own point of view. His response to parents asking him to stop scaring their children is to get more vocal and more animated and more scary. And the scared kids? They're a worthwhile casualty. He wanted content. That was all that mattered.
Oh, I've upset them? I didn't mean to. I'm really sorry if I hope the kids aren't upset that I told them the truth about cops being scum. That they'll target young boys. I just want to make sure.
This highlights a guy who is so enamored of his own beliefs that he has no problem bullying people with them. He reminds a parent who doesn't like what he's yelling at their kids that he has the right to say whatever he wants. His apology, that's no apology. It's an opportunity to reiterate. Does he believe this behavior will win hearts and minds to overturn Terry v. Ohio? No, of course he doesn't. I don't think he believes that at all. I think he's making content for his YouTube channel, and that content and the attention it garners will be used for a Netflix deal which he's been chasing for years.
Kate, if you come anywhere near me, I'm going to defend myself. Just make sure I'm just making sure you know. If you come anywhere near me, I'll defend myself.
Listen, there's a kid right next to us.
I'm just making sure you know.
Let's go.
I'm just making sure you know, lady. No, you better keep her over there, Josh. Keep her over there. Josh, don't get up on me. Keep that.
It's candy, guys.
If you come anywhere near me, lady, I'll knock you on the ground. Don't come anywhere near me. You put me in fear for my life. I'm just letting you know. But you better get away from me. You better stay away from me.
Don't let her do it.
In the middle of this highly volatile confrontation that only he's participating in because Kate isn't near him, isn't interacting with him, he acts like he's so out of control. If she comes a step closer, he says he's going to knock her on the ground. Then he calmly looks to make sure everyone in his camera phone on his live stream can see him. goes immediately back to threatening Kate, and looks back to the camera with that Cheshire Cat grin on his face. Stick a pin in that as well.
Those are bad cops. Now, what I want you to do is look at all the fucking people in that chat and decide who's more important. The fucking troll behind you or all the people here? We talked about this yesterday. Let her do what she wants. You have more work to do exposing these shitbags.
I agree.
Look at all the people watching us. What are you doing, dude? We came here for a reason. Yeah, yelling at kids about how scary cops are isn't going to win anybody over at that parade. In Josh's mind, the reason they're there is singular. Content. Winning over souls. Souls equal revenue. Chille, he's got competing goals. He knows he needs money now, but he's taking a claim to the future. He's building a brand based off of content that makes him renowned. And for that, he needs to generate attention.
Because she's stalking me? Right, but she can't follow me around.
It's a public space. Anybody can follow.
So she can follow me anywhere I go?
I'm exercising my constitution.
Is that right? Is that what you're saying on camera?
Yes.
Right, but I've asked her to leave me alone. I've sent her an official cease and desist letter. She's still following me around. She's allowed to do that? Is that?
What a bummer for Chille. Kate is standing between him and his dreams. She's clouding the dollar signs in his grifty little eyes. Like all narcissists, he believes he can set the controls for any environment he's in. He alone determines what's acceptable. We all know he doesn't hate the police. He runs to them every time he gets scared. What he doesn't like is the fact that they have any authority over him. But he runs to the cops for 3 reasons. To create content, when his mouth has written checks that his ass can't cash, and to do his bidding. When he can't get people, not just the police, to do what he demands, he bullies them, he attacks them, and he threatens them. But even then, it's all part of his game.
It's embarrassing.
She's literally following me around.
We have to get harassment.
Okay, so I have to go to which police department?
You have to go to Women's Court.
Go to which court?
Thank you, Ardo.
Woburn?
Where do you live?
I live in California officially.
Okay, so you have to go to Woburn District Court.
Can you spell that? Oh, Josh, you know where it is? Kate, get away from me. Get away from me. She's following me. Listen to me. You can do what you want. You're on camera. She just bumped into me again for the 3rd time. She did. Why is she following me? Listen to me. You better do your job or you'll be sued under the 14th Amendment. I sue people. That's what I did. Keep this psycho away from me. If you don't, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to defend myself. I'm warning you now. She's bumping into me. She's going to get knocked on the ground if she continues.
Here's that event from a couple different points of view.
Josh, you know where it is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Is this like you hang out with bitches like this now? Is this what you do? Yeah, it seems it. That's not true. I've said you're very charismatic, and I've said that you could make an excellent salesman, and I think I've encouraged you to seek gainful employment. Because I think you'd be successful at that. This is, you're with this little girl. Why do you think so?
You just said she's following me. Right, okay. Okay, but she doesn't have the right to be on my tail. And if she does, she's gonna get knocked on the ground the next time she does it. I'm warning you now. She just bumped into me. Did you not see it? I have a 14th Amendment right. She can't follow me around.
Yeah. I saw you stop suddenly and turn back into her.
If she continues, I'm gonna defend myself. And you're on camera.
Action is criminal. I'll arrest you.
I'm sure you will, Thistle. I have a 14th Amendment right to be defended by you.
You have many rights.
Then do your job.
You're my address, and I was
I'm highlighting this old event because it sets the stage for everything that's happened since. This is when Chille confirmed to us that he is in fact physically abusive to women, that he is in fact verbally abusive to children. He showed us that he's so experienced at manipulation that he can easily gaslight his people into believing that they didn't see what they saw. Ergo, he didn't do what he did. He keeps threatening to sue James Freeman for calling him a woman abuser, knowing that this video exists. This is evidence, yet he's accusing Freeman of defaming him. And I made a big deal about this at the time, but I'm just me. I felt that by Kate not making an issue of this, it helped to normalize the behavior, and when you give a narcissist an inch, they go for a broke. He has regularly escalated from that point onward. Here, the officer straight up tells him, "I saw you. You stopped short and you knocked into her." And that only sets Chille off more. In front of a police officer, he threatens to do more. And he demands that the officer give him 14th Amendment protection. When he's informed that there is no law that's being broken, he became the very thing he says he's fighting against in all of this. Because if the law doesn't agree with him, he chooses to be lawless and demands that the police officer be lawless as well. Go outside of the law to punish Kate because Chille wants it. Because she was screwing up his live stream, his brand, and because she made him mad. It's all here. He doesn't care about any laws unless it fits his narrative and he can use it to get something he wants. Before there was a federal court case, here is Chille not believing that the law has power to restrain him. The law is solely in place to curtail the activity of his enemy. It explains how he can remove most of his content and then accuse the people he's suing of spoliation. How he can put out dozens of videos attacking Kate after claiming that all she does is attack him. And then he files a motion with the court because Kate made a video. It's all here.
Do you think I'm afraid of you?
Get the fuck away from me.
Because right now you're starting to be this photo.
Okay, get her away from me. You're gonna separate the two combatants.
Can you just
She's causing problems. She's following me around. And let me just tell you something, lady. You don't know what's gonna happen next. She's following me. She's following me.
Let's go. Let's back up a little bit.
No, they have to keep the peace. That's their job. It's by law.
So if you could just walk that way, it would be great. If you could just walk that way. Come on, go.
Take a deep
If
breath.
she comes near me again, I'm telling you what,
She's
I'm in
okay.
fear for my life.
So let's
I don't know if
walk.
she has a gun or a knife. I will defend
Can
myself.
you please just go? You're really ruining the parade for everyone.
Well, no, she is. You better stay away from me, you psycho chick.
All right, let's go this way.
Okay, run along, Goofy.
Just have to make sure the point is clear.
Oh, I think the point is crystal clear. Out of control rage, threats, hold me back, Josh. And then he calmly looks at the camera. He's not even breathing hard and says to his audience, just making sure the point is clear. What's going on there? I personally think this should be played all over YouTube. Chille shoved her. He stopped short to knock into her. He elbowed her phone out of her hand in front of a police officer. He was fabricating outrage and anger and turning it off at the drop of a hat, all the while making clear that he was manufacturing a court case against Kate. And if he would abuse a woman like this in front of thousands of witnesses and the police, it just makes me wonder what he does when no one's watching. This uneasy alliance I spoke of, it's starting to get a little wobbly. You know, just because these disparate groups have joined forces doesn't mean they all have the same ideologies or even palatable ideologies. Today, Kate and some of her followers in Discord bailed a loose associate of Chille's out of jail just to beat him to it. And it caused a lot of hard feelings with some of her followers who consider this guy an alleged meth head who puts his family in some pretty precarious situations. If she's creating hard feelings with her own followers just to burn Chille, she's kind of trolling herself. And then I happened upon this lovely incident when I saw Sovereign Soul on another channel about one of the many Chille controversies, so I thought I'd check him out. Boy, oh boy, that was a huge mistake.
It says that when a court's power to act is controlled by statute, the court is governed by the rules of limited jurisdiction, and courts exercising jurisdiction over such matters must proceed within the structures of the statute. The state citizen is immune from any and all government attacks and procedure absent contract, which is what I'm kind of trying to get into with the difference between 14, which you know goddamn well, because I have a suspicion.
Let's see here. So absent is not here. So absent absent contract, that's not here. What was the other words? Let me see what.
Well, that contract? Was a quote from
contract. Contract isn't. Contract isn't even in here.
The state citizen is. This is all run together. So the state citizen is immune from any and all government attacks. Procedure is Dred Scott versus Sanford. The one was the structures of the statute was the medical examiner. So.
Structure. Well, so immune is not there. You said
no,
structure?
I just said that one is, dude. I can't deal with this fucking guy. He keeps interrupting me. Listen,
go settle down. Just settle down. Make your points. You guys don't. It's starting to get ego shit going on. Let's not have that.
He's a fucking little Jewy lawyer fuck, and I want to hang out.
Oh, dude, come on.
I love how that's the first thing I get from people. Whenever I have a conversation, they always
you know what the fuck your people do, you cocksucker.
Dude, I'm Puerto Rican. Settle down, Ben.
Not a good look. Not a good look.
He mad. Why are you mad?
I don't know. He left. He got mad. He left. So I don't know. Let me bring this back the other way. What happened? Where are you at? Oh, there he is.
There he is. Okay.
I stopped sharing. Sorry about that.
Yeah. That's all right. I got you. I got you back. I don't know. I'm real sorry about that, man. That wasn't cool at all. That was really, I think, kind of.
That was definitely a little upset about it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that I came in fully, especially when he was saying these things, I came in fully expecting that he was going to have, especially when he says, I got a bunch of court cases about this, right? So I came in fully expecting what was going to be said for a lot of these things. And a lot of it, what happens is that he had a printout, and he also admitted that he copy pasted a lot of it. And so I fully expected that they were going to be full of a typical list of court cases full of either completely fabricated quotes or ones that were taken out of complete context. And I don't think he liked the fact that I actually had in front of me full-on access to be able to look up these cases myself.
Well, see, that's just it right there, is you got to go and look at all of it. Now, I do know that there is a lot of validity in much of this that is brought out. And there is a lot of convoluted shit, especially.
Boy, that guy's a real bee charmer, isn't he? This teaches me a very important thing about this guy who's calling himself Burn the Corporate Fiction here. He's really Sovereign Soul's son. This guy peaked in 4th grade, and it's been downhill ever since then. He came back in a few minutes later. No apologies, just more verbal attacks, more anti-Semitism. So not just a sovereign citizen, which automatically infers some sort of deficit, but an anti-Semite who blames another group of people for his inability to make something of his life. Thank you, Chille. Because of you, I can't unsee this bozo.
If you go to your browser and up in the address, type in antifa.com, watch where it takes you. Now, try to put that link in Facebook Messenger. It will reject the message. You won't even be able to send it. Try to put in that antifa.com into the Facebook Messenger or onto Facebook. It will reject it before it even posts. You want to know why? Because it's you to the whitehouse.gov. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Go ahead, try it. Anybody out there, go ahead and try that. If you try to type it into Messenger or put it into Facebook, it won't let you post it. But if you put it into your browser, it'll take you right to whitehouse.gov.
Now, is it, I mean, obviously there are links that are designed to make it look as if you're going to one site and take you somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that works. I don't understand. But do you think that someone could get by with that? I mean, would the White House have no recourse if it wasn't them specifically, if someone else was like just linking it?
Well, I would say that they would have.
Wouldn't that be like national security or something?
I would think it was myself. I think it's awful strange that they haven't done anything about it. And instead of doing something about it, they just make it so you can't tell anybody about it. Where's the thing there? We got Steve Miller. You
can't tell anybody about it. He says that unironically as he's telling everybody about it. So here's an easily debunked conspiracy. And it's suggested to him by Legicator that someone could buy the domain name and redirect it to any site they want. For some odd reason, he manages to just add that into his conspiracy theory. How do you develop an opinion on any subject if you haven't bothered to learn everything about it? I don't get it. If he'd bothered to fact check that conspiracy, he would have learned that the same domain directed to Joe Biden's campaign page before he was president. So whomever owns that domain is probably some MAGA operative somewhere who does it because it plays into a narrative that if you support Biden, you support Antifa. A little bit of learning is a dangerous thing, right? This guy learned about this subject until the point where it intercepted with his belief, and then he consciously chose to reject anything beyond what he already believed, which explains a lot about conspiracy theorists.
Of Chille to meet and fight. That was that post. You know, you pick the date and location in Seattle, and I'll meet you there with no camera. That was an acceptance of an offer for fisticuffs. And a court's going to see that. Like, you can't pick a fight and then run to the government and get a civil harassment restraining order. That's not a good thing. That's somewhat frowned upon in the courts. So I would, if I were Chille, I would point all that stuff out. Obviously, I'm not representing Chille. I can't represent Chille. So Chille, don't think about hitting me up to represent you on this. I am not licensed to practice in California, and I can't help you on a case in Washington. I mean, if you get an attorney, I could associate with that attorney, and that attorney can like represent you, and I could do some footwork or whatever. And you know, if you want to do that, cool. I'll help out.
So here's another character I found because of Chille. Meet the Merb, a guy who can't read a room to save his life. I can tell that when Merb thinks about himself, he's a little bit impressed. He's a staunch proponent of free speech who gets extremely fussy when people call him on his offensive word choices. Sure, you know, he can use words that have literally harmed people, but he shouldn't get so bent out of shape when people exercise their free speech to tell him he's a jerk. If Merb is teachable, he'll learn that just because you can say something doesn't necessarily mean you should. I'm sure the Merb would agree with Louis Brandeis, who said that the framers of the Bill of Rights believe that freedom to think as you will and to speak as you think are means indispensable to the discovery and spread of political truth that without free speech and assembly, discussion would be futile. That with them, discussion affords ordinary adequate protection against the dissemination of noxious doctrine. That the greatest menace to freedom is an inert people. That public discussion is a political duty, and that this should be a fundamental principle of the American government. So you see, Murby, it's all part of the dance. When people call you out for your noxious words, don't judge them and look down upon them, mock them. I think you need to be a little more appreciative. So here the Merb offers his assistance to the hated Chille DeCastro out of the kindness of his heart, maybe? I mean, is he trolling us, or is he signaling his willingness to advise all of us during times of legal woes?
Good morning. Happy Friday. I hear that Chille DeCastro wants me to explain to him what fair use is. You know, Chille, if you hadn't copyright struck my video before you knew what fair use was, I might have been inclined to do it. But we're marching on a happy little road towards litigation, and I never want to interrupt my enemy when he's in the process of making a mistake. So you keep doing what you're doing, buddy. You're doing good. You're doing good. You keep going. You're winning. Never let anybody tell you that you're not winning.
Oh, not so eager to offer yourself up for assistance anymore, are you? And where the heck are you? Are you looking out like over a city experiencing a power outage? I just don't know what's going on there.
I've been accused now, by the way, of Blue Bacon as wanting to dox him. Now, I don't know why he would say that, because I've known who he is. I've known his name, at least. I haven't checked into his address ever. But I've known who he is now for two and a half years, something like that, from back when we were having this discussion. And I never leaked it until Chille did. And then I just confirmed it was him. I mean, but what are you going to do? There's pictures of the dude in his military fatigues with his name on it. So no, I'm not going to dox him further. I don't even know how you could dox him further. PhD is getting publicly available through a public records request information on Blue Bacon's service record. That's it. That's somebody else doing it, and they're doing it through public documents. That's not doxing.
Oh, no. This will not do. This will not do at all. Middle-aged fuddy-duddies wearing Eddie Bauer down vest can't do jazz hands. That's against the law, my dude. I don't want to see jazz hands unless you have a glitter ball hanging from the roof of your car and it's raining men is blasting from your speakers. This has been your public service announcement. No jazz hands.
I know what I'm doing here, and I've been doing this for a while now, and we're going to raise the money for Deborah Rogers. We're going to raise... Michael, good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you, Michael. I'm so glad you're here. Listen, Deborah's Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal are right here. They're right in the comments section. They're right there. I put them in there again. For some reason, the V and the Deborah sticking together. I always have to space it. So I'm raising right now $3,000 for Deborah Rogers. This is a fundraiser. Please pull out your phone and get your Cash App, your Venmo, or your PayPal, and please send Deborah Rogers $100. Do it right now. You have $100, just do it. What are you going to do? You know what you could do? You could just skip eating for the next 3 or 4 days and only have one meal a day. And you know what? Then you got the extra $100 that you donated to someone else so that she doesn't have to go live in a dungeon. How about that? Could you imagine that? Yeah, you're going to be hungry for 3 or 4 days because you're skipping breakfast and lunch, but you're still going to get dinner, which is more than most people get around the world.
Wow, that is some marketing pitch for your brand there, Chille. Advising people to go hungry to help your friend fund her legal fees? Just to be clear, his friend Deborah, that he's grifting this money for, got arrested on Cherokee land in Oklahoma, decided to play games with the police by being non-compliant, resisting arrest, had a public defender, was given an offer that required no jail time, refused it, fired her public defender, got a contempt of court charge that put her back in jail. She was allegedly under the influence when she was pulled over, and she's saying that the tribe on the tribal land has no jurisdiction over her. So that's all complicated and convoluted, but she was on the phone getting advice from Chille when she got arrested. So I can see why he feels responsible for getting her out of trouble, but I'm not exactly sure why he's demanding that his followers go hungry to fund her when he's said this.
Parking might be difficult, but you can do me the favor and call the cops on me. Help me create more content. I'm a narcissist and I'm becoming a millionaire from YouTube.
Real quick and see if he's willing to throw a little bit of money in. He's got the money. There's $10 right there. Any of the super chats, guys, I'm taking half of the super chat money and giving it to Bora. The other half is gone. So,
yeah, I'm gonna jump in the shower.
David Condon, happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you. I'm gonna jump in the shower. You be at 8. Let's get going.
Yep, I'll be there about 8 o'clock for your birthday dinner. I won't miss it.
Don't be late. The place is closed down at 9:30. So.
Well, I mean, David, I'm going to take you out to a nice dinner tonight. And it's going to be great. I'm going to buy you dinner with the money I make from my online store.
So here's my question. Why doesn't Chille just pay for his friend to get a lawyer, to get her out of the mess he got her into? He seems to have plenty of money. Why take people's food money? Oh, and I have a question. Why can't this lady file a motion to get a new public defender? I don't know. Is that possible? I would check into that one first before I go begging money from people. So I didn't want to make this too awfully long. That's kind of the best examples out of so many to describe why so many people are becoming watchdogs against Chille on YouTube. He's currently gone full tyrant. He copyright struck almost everyone who covers his antics in a negative light. He's taking other YouTube creators to court. He says he's suing YouTube. He assured us last week that YouTube would go along with his strike attrition, and when they didn't, he got pretty resentful. He actually really does feel entitled wherever he is. He is not beholden to any rules or regulations or laws. He's simply there to point out what other people can or should do. So he's currently unable to access his YouTube channel. Allegedly, he went after so many people, participated in so much doxing and so many threats that YouTube pulled his reins. At least temporarily. He got kicked off TikTok for acting like a complete nutter and treating people of color there abysmally, telling rapper Talib Kweli to get on his knees in front of him, trying to hijack the stories of people who had been killed by the police from their families to profit off of. And then he shows up on the streets of YouTube, refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to go again. He says he decided a few years ago that overturning Terry v. Ohio was his life's work, and that's why a lot of people were drawn to his channel. You know, if he can just get Terry overturned, the world would be magically delicious. There'd be no more injustice. Almost every day he reassures his audience that he's on a mission to overturn Terry. The only thing he's doing to overturn Terry is saying he's on a mission to overturn Terry. He says he's right over the target, and that's why everyone is coming for him. But he's done nothing, not a single thing, to overturn Terry v. Ohio. He pressures his audience to give him money all the time, not to overturn Terry, but to benefit him and his friends. And oh, by the way, overturning Terry isn't going to change the fact that people of color and poor people live on the wrong side of our justice system. That the United States operates two distinct criminal justice systems, one for wealthy people and another for poor people and people of color. The wealthy can access a vigorous adversary system resplendent with constitutional protections for defendants. Yet the experiences of poor and minority defendants within the criminal justice system differ substantially from that model due to a number of factors, each contributing to the overrepresentation of these people in the system. So white people are underrepresented in the system, and poor people and people of color are overrepresented. Disparities in policing, by issues of prosecutorial discretion, legal representation, the pre-trial system, sentencing, and parole show that the problems are historically rooted, pervasive, and ongoing. And there are two ways to change a law: by legislative action or by judicial action. One can get a law changed, and one can push a case to a judgment in court. The first one is never going to happen because they tend to keep unhinged people away from the legislators. The second isn't going to happen because Chille runs away from trouble faster than green grass through a goose. Terry v. Ohio needs to be revisited, for sure, but Chille is not the advocate for it. He's not actively working to overturn anything. You see, Chille wants a Netflix deal. In the immortal words of Gandalf, he is seeking it. All his thought is bent on it. The Chille yearns above all else to return to the hand of the Netflix team of creative executives. They are one, the Chille and the buyers. Netflix has slipped through his greasy little fingers a couple times, but fame is just around every corner in Chille's mind. He's just a famous person waiting to be discovered. Oh, and the handcuffs are not called torture cuffs, Chille, and jail cells are not called dungeons. This may come as a complete shock, sad and utter blow to your ego, but you're not in charge of words because reasons. You're not in charge of words that the definition's building. You can use that term 1,000 times. That's not going to change the fact. So what's going to happen to Chille? Will someone pop his overinflated alpha ego? Will the truce between content creators hold? It doesn't look like it. We're currently having several battles. Will families be torn asunder? What will these creators who have been making daily videos about Chille cover when he gets removed? Will we ever be the same again? It's just too soon to tell. I'll keep you posted.